I'm staying for the kids. No, you're not. You're staying for yourself and your own fears and scarcity mentality that it can't get better on the other side. When I'm telling you it is going to and it can. You're scared to see him with another woman. You're scared for the next woman he's going to change for all the complaints and grievances you had and get it right the next time while you sit back and watch them. Scared to be alone. You're scared no one's going to want you again because constant put downs. You look at yourself as damaged good who would have a hard time finding someone to love them. You stay because you have not let God in your heart yet. You have not allowed him to claim you as his and you to claim him as yours. Because if it was really about those kids now, fucking mockery of the relationship that you guys have. It's not about them. You don't want to sit in your own shit. All of life's pains that made you pick a man like this in the first place. All the ways that daddy failed you when you were a little girl and now you try to look for him again in the same type of man. All the ways that your mom put you down and couldn't connect with you, so you're just looking so bad for someone to love you, but you're picking someone just as fucking toxic as her. But hearing all that noise is the only chance you have to heal. When you're in that kind of relationship and cycle of abuse, I don't care what any of you guys say. There's no way you can tell me you're showing up 100% parent for your children. You can't. Because your mind is so consumed by his bullshit. I am begging you to please, if you can't do it for yourself, to please do it for them. So please don't tell me that you're staying for the kids. You're staying for yourself.
People use "I'm staying for the kids" as an excuse to remain in toxic relationship. They stay in that unhealthy marriage just because of the kids. They feel like if they walk away, they're going to ruin the lives of the kids. And then what happens, especially mothers, they don't walk out of that toxic marriage. They can stay there and endure pain. The man will be there treating them like trash, hurting them, disrespecting them from time to time. And they will still sit in there because they feel that they are doing it for the kids. There's some that even the kids will tell them to leave, but they will say no. They keep waiting on this man to change and treat them right. Sometimes I wonder, are they really staying because of the kids or because of what people will say? Because if you're saying you are staying because of the kids, these kids will one day grow up and leave you and start their own life. Well, I want to hear your honest opinion. If you think staying is better than leaving, please drop your thoughts in the comment section. So let's just jump into this video and I'll come back to talk more. Please subscribe. Let's take a look.
Trust me, your kids know, even if you're pretending. There's this myth that I often hear where people say, we are staying for the kids. We're doing it because of our children. I don't believe it. Oftentimes it's a situation of convenience where it's just easier on both parties to stay in the relationship. There's also an aspect of fear where individuals are worried about, hey, am I going to find anybody? I've been out of the dating scene for such a long time. I don't even know how things work. What am I going to do financially? I'm not financially stable. I'm not on my feet. There's a lot of fears that could go into it and that prevents people from resorting to divorce. But let me put it to you this way. Do you honestly think that it's better for a child to have both parents around, but the house is nothing short of a war zone, filled with toxicity and an environment that's not conducive to the mental, emotional, and physical health of the children? And yes, I understand and I agree completely. Mom and dad being in the picture is the ideal scenario, but it is much better for the children to be in separate homes. You know, the most important thing when it comes to children is stability, routine. And if anything disrupts that routine, this could affect the child in a big way. It could affect the child's development. And there's something a lot of people do not consider. Children don't listen to what you say. They mimic and recreate what they see in the home. So what they're going to end up doing is replicating those same toxic behaviors in their lives. And further down the line, it's going to affect their relationships as well. Divorce can lead to growth, peace, and a healthier family relationship. So if you honestly want to put your children first, divorce might be your best option.
Sometimes when you have parents that stay together for the kids, it can bring children this immense sense of guilt that even though you know might not be logical, emotionally it's still there. And the guilt can be about your parents' unhappiness, what their life would have been like if they had gotten separated or gotten divorced. And I think it's important for upcoming generations to know that staying together for the kids doesn't help the kids.
It's one thing I need my man to know about me the most is kids will not stop me from moving on. Like, I hate when women think because they have children that they can't move on and that they're stuck to a man. Because one thing about me, my kids will have a stepdaddy and he will treat them mum very right. I'm going to show my children just how to never let a man think because you've got kids with him that you can't move on and another man won't want you. Because me and my children will look for a suitable dad. You will either behave or you will be co-parenting with a blended family. I'm never ever going to let a person think that because we have children together I won't move on. I will cash out your ass so fast you won't even remember we were together. You will be so annoyed because it will be the most gentlest of leavings. I will leave so gently. Like, my new husband will be so nice, he will be so mature that you're actually going to hate him because of how well he's going to treat you and your children. Like, I ain't going to get somebody that's going to be strangling you when he sees you or trying to one up you all the time. I'm going to get me a mature, fine ass man that's really going to show you that there are mature men who make their money and treat their women right. So a man should never ever play with me and think because I got kids with him, I'll never leave. I'm leaving in a jiffy. Do you know what a jiffy means? That's British for fast, immediate, in a hurry.
I'm staying for the kids. I am for the kids. No, you're fucking not. What you're doing is you're traumatizing your kids and you're hurting them for life, okay? You're hurting them. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel for every single mama who wants to protect their children and thinks that they are doing the right thing by staying in a toxic relationship that is making them unhappy. What a lot of people fail to understand is that you're actually doing more damage by staying with somebody, whether you guys argue and are toxic in front of the kids. That's a whole nother issue, or not, because you can be co-parents, you can be together, but you don't argue, you don't talk, you guys just kind of like coexist in the house together. That's still toxic. Do you want your children growing up looking at that and saying, that's what I want me and my husband to have? That is true love right there. No, but that's what they're gonna think, right? That's what they're going to think. I was that mom. I did not leave my first baby daddy for years. It was so hard. I thought I was never going to find somebody who would accept me as a single mom and accept my son like he was their own. But let me tell you something so amazing, so amazing. I found a man in a time of my life where I was not looking for anything. I was happy with my son on my own. I had left my shitty ex. I was healing. I was finally doing better, and he popped up. That would not have happened. That would not have happened if I was still with that shitty ex. And do you want to know where that shitty ex is today? He's with some new girlfriend, putting her through the same stuff, I'm sure. We share a kid, so I have to see him every now and then, and it sucks. But it doesn't suck nearly as bad as spending every single day with that motherfucker. You need to know your worth, you need to prioritize it, and most of all, you need to prioritize your children. If you have kids and you're in a shitty relationship, there is almost no excuse as to why you can't leave. If you have social media, you can post a TikTok, you can ask for help. You can text me. I am that friend that would come to your house at 2 a.m. and help you pack your shit and leave, and I would give you a place to stay. All of this to say, if you say that you are staying for the kids, you're being selfish, you're not staying for the kids, and what you're doing is hurting yourself. And I mean that in the most loving and respectful way possible, but you are not doing it for them. You're doing it because you are scared to take the next step. That's it.
If you are staying in your marriage because of your child, yeah, a lot of men and women say, I'm in my marriage because of my child. I don't have anything again for my partner. I want to let you know that your child or your children will grow up and leave both of you. At that point, what will both of you be doing with yourselves? Yes, because your children will grow. Are you with your parents? No, you're with someone else.
Staying for the kids. Let's talk about that, because I'm sure everyone's heard that phrase, and a lot of us are either probably doing it right now or guilty of attempting that, and I am one of them. I stayed much longer in my marriage for the kids. I think we've all got this like perception that being in a family wholesome unit is much better than your children being from a broken family. Now, I hate that term, because I'm telling you now, my family is not broken because me and their dad live in separate homes. In fact, their home is probably less broken than it was before. When you're bringing up children in a toxic environment, I don't think we give our children enough credit for what they actually are aware of what's going on. You may not argue in front of them, but the atmosphere, the tension, the toxic energy, they can feed off of that. And I feel like I speak to so many people that end up telling me like, oh my God, like I'm happier now that I'm not with my partner. And in turn, my kids are now happier. Their behaviour's more settled. They're more relaxed. And I really do feel like there is never a good reason to stay in a relationship because of your children. I wanted to set an example and show my children what a happy, loving relationship looks like. I don't ever want my children to think that settling is an option. If you would be happy for your child to come home and tell you that they are dating and going out with the person that you were with and staying with, would you be happy if they were in a relationship like you were in? And if the answer is no, don't allow them to think it's okay to be in a relationship like that. I don't think staying for the kids is a thing. And yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments.
You're staying for the kids, right? Let me ask you, do they feel safe or they are just surviving? Many of us stay in toxic marriages thinking we are protecting the children. But if the home is full of shouting, insults, and all the abuse that goes on, ask yourself again, are the kids really safe? The toxic narcissist wants you to feel trapped. They use the kids to guilt trip you and control you and make you afraid of leaving. But hear me, staying doesn't mean tolerating abuse. So if you must stay, stay strong, set boundaries, stop engaging in fights, refuse to be disrespected, and create emotional safety for yourself and the kids. You know, narcissistic abusers thrive on your reactions. The moment you stop playing their game, they lose power. Your peace is your kids' peace. And freedom for you means freedom for them too. So don't just stay for the kids. Stay wisely. Create peace in your space because your kids deserve to see a mother who values herself. Did you get that?
You're not staying for the children. You're staying because fear has tied wrapper on your neck and you're dragging your innocent children inside fire. Every time I hear I'm staying because of the kids, my red bodily fluid boils. What kids? The ones shaking in fear? The ones who flinch when their father raises his voice? The ones who don't sleep because they are scared daddy might raise his hands against mommy again? Your son is learning how to punch from his father. Your daughter is learning how to endure pain and call it love from you. And you have the audacity to say it's for the children? You're not staying for the children. You're raising them in a war zone and calling it parenting. And let's be guarded. UNICEF, WHO, every sensible research body on this planet Earth has said children raised in abusive homes suffer the same trauma as abuse victims. Same PTSD, same depression, same brokenness. But somehow, you believe staying is sacrificial motherhood. No, ma, it's a slow generational course in matching pajamas. The real sacrifice is walking away so they don't grow up thinking violence is affection. So they don't end up in therapy saying, my mom stayed, so I stayed too. Live for peace, live for healing, live for a future where your children don't marry their trauma in human form. If the environment is breaking you, it's breaking them 10 times harder. You say I want to give them a complete home. Newsflash, a complete home is not man plus woman plus violence. A complete home is safety, stability, peace, love. If all that is absent, you're not giving your children a home, you're giving them trauma with curtains.
So you need to ask yourself, what exactly are you staying for? Are you really staying for stability? Or you are staying for convenience? Are you making excuses? Or you just lack courage? It's okay to want to stay, but is the place warm enough for your kids to thrive? Are you happy where you are? Are you pretending to be the person you are not? Are you just trying to do damage control? I'm not going to tell you to leave, neither am I going to tell you to stay. But I just want you to know that your kids see what is going on. You need to be honest with yourself. Some couples have chosen to stay together and they fix their marriage. They go to therapy, they try to work things out. They really work together to fix it. Even they also feel the happiness. And then when the home is happy, the children are also happy. If you think that it is possible for both of you, you and your partner can still fix things, can try to stay. But if you are staying because of what people will say, or because you are afraid of starting all over again, this is something I also want you to know, that kids are not blind. They see everything. They feel and know when the house is tensed. They know when you and your partner are falling out of love with each other. Now that you have the strength, it is better you leave than to start nagging in old age when your kids that you are staying for, that we're keeping you company and distracting you from the toxic relationship and no more. If you are staying for the kids, make sure that your kids are staying in an environment where they can feel safe, emotionally, physically, and otherwise. You need to show your kids what love really means. You need to show them how to value themselves. That man will not value you if you do not value yourself. Whatever you are tolerating, you are choosing. And your kids are observing the pattern. Stop hiding behind the phrase, I am staying for my kids. Live so that you can live. If you stay for too long in a toxic relationship, you are teaching your children that that is the normal thing. And then you are also contributing to the nuisance of the future. So make the right decision. So let's talk in the comments. Are you staying for your children, or you are just trying to make excuse? Oh, if you grew up in a household where your mother endured a toxic marriage, how did this shape your life? Let's talk in the comment section. Like this video and share it with someone who you know is going through a toxic marriage and has refused to make the choice. Subscribe if you are yet to do so. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. If you disagree with any of the points that were made in this video, please let's debate. Drop your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all again in my next one. Bye. Love you. Mwah.